This is just fictional story. It's imaginary. Watch at your own risk. No copyright intended. I only own the storyline, editing, and maybe voiceover if I have to. Deeply sorry for the grammatical errors or any mistakes. This is just purely for entertainment purposes. Thank you. You can mute the video if you only want to peacefully reading. Someone entering the house and look around the empty room. She furrowed and was about to call someone from her phone, but stopped when she heard someone's voice, and she looked up. "Oh, you come? Good morning." She slightly bowed while the woman smiled and nodded at the maid. "I just come to give this to my daughter-in-law." "Where's she?" "Or my son?" She asked, showing the plastic bag while again looking around. But when she got no answer, she again looked back at the maid. "Why?" she asked as the maid seems a little hesitant before speaking. They usually come down at around 10, so maybe in about half an hour again." She furrowed her eyebrows. "What do you mean? My son usually wake up early, and I remember his wife, also an early bird. He usually wake up around 8. The maid suddenly scratching her hair while avoiding her gaze. "Just tell me," she spoke, knowing the maid hid something, and the maid nodded a little at her. Can't say no to her boss's mother. Actually, they... Get away, she groaned while trying to get her blanket back. Telling the man who basically almost... No, this feels like heaven. He hugged her more, eyes still closed. The girl again groaned and staring down at him, though she only could see his hair. "You need to get up now." I said, "No, let me rest more." "It's probably 12. "Stop lying." She then eventually closed her eyes and sighed. Knowing this man won't go before he eventually want to. Just like every morning. Ever since they got married, every morning her husband. And it's usually take until half an hour, or even more than an hour, before he eventually get up and started his day. At first, she thought he'd just want to sleep more because his work started at 12. But then she realized that he just wanted to have a little morning. It's cute though, but sometimes she acts like she's annoyed by this, just to tease him. Just like how he usually teased her before they get married. Funny that the once guy who lives beside her house, who she thought was so friendly and outgoing, because he's sometimes flirting with her, was actually a guy who don't have much friends and only liked to stay at home if he didn't go to work. And turned out the only girl who got that special treatment from him was just her. And she just found that out a few days before she accepted the marriage proposal from his mother. That actually from him who feel a little insecure to propose to her by himself. And now it's been only 2 weeks since they got married. The first 7 days, they went to Canada for a little honeymoon vacation. And after they back, her husband started his work right away. Now can you get up? I swear it's probably already past 10. She playfully rolled her eyes when she heard him slightly chuckling, his face still hiding. And then he moved his face back, before he eventually staring down at her who playfully glaring at him. He then smiled innocently. I'm warmer than the blanket, right? She rolled her eyes again, but agreed. Yeah, you're right. Now what? Aren't you going to get up? He nodded while closing his eyes for a few seconds before again staring down at her. Yes, but he wiggling his eyebrows and she closed her eyes while trying not to smile, but failed. He is looking so attractive in this situation. She opened her eyes while her cheeks already slightly red before she speaks. Fast, I need to go to the bathroom now. He chuckled and nodded before. This is also their everyday morning routine. And before this, her husband actually waking her up with, just to only hug her and close his eyes again after she woke up. That's how they prepare themselves before starting the day. She can relax longer because she got a month off from her workplace for her marriage. But she also only worked for 4 to 6 hours a day. So it's even more beneficial for her husband, who likes to keep her around him longer before he leaves for work or anywhere. Enough. She then laughed when she saw him pouting and glaring at her. Stop it. I need to go to the bathroom. She tried not to laugh again before she get up and walks to the bathroom, then chuckling at her husband who's still glaring at her back as she saw him from the mirror. But he slowly smirked after his wife finally closed the bathroom's door. Knowing he broke the door lock secretly last night, so he immediately get up, walking towards it. He need more of her. Mrs., you sure you don't want to wait a little more? She said while awkwardly smiled, and her boss's mother rolled her eyes. Nah, I wait enough. Just give this to her. I heard she want my homemade chicken nuggets. The maid slightly bow. Sure, and sorry. Why are you saying sorry? She said while shaking her head and then turning around, started walking to the main door directions. But she suddenly stopped and turned around before looking back at the maid, who's still standing there, and looked back at her. She scoffed in speak. I know my son is sometimes a little too with her, so The maid eyes widened, but she got more surprised when she heard the next words. Just come to my house first when you hear them going too loud.